Hi everybody, welcome to School of Scarlett. Today I have another intuitive message to share with you. So today's message is a message that is very powerful. It has the ability to help you to timeline jump, to move from one reality into another desired reality. So I was scrolling through my Facebook feed, like we do sometimes in the morning, opening up our phone, looking at different things. And so I was looking at different things in my phone when all of a sudden I saw this picture. And sometimes it'll be that groups or different people post motivational quotes, or they post some sort of picture to motivate, and it was something similar to that. It was some children and they were holding hands, and it looked like they had kind of like they were like celestial. It looked like stars and things like that, of that nature. And it said these kids were told that they were gifted, so they became gifted. And I sat with that for a moment and I thought, what is this about? So I just wanted to know if there was an actual story behind this. There wasn't anything else on this picture, so I just Googled it. Was there any children that were told they were gifted and became gifted? And that's when it came up that there was a psychological study done, and I don't know if it was 1960 or 1970. I think the psychologists or people working on it was Rosenthal and another psychologist named Jacobson, I believe. And so they were doing a psychological study of seeing if they had, told the teachers that the students were gifted, or that they were going to perform academically better than the other students, would those students actually perform better? So what they did was test a bunch of students in the school to see which ones, were scoring higher or lower or whatever. And they just chose some average students, not because they were actually performing higher, just some random average students. And they told the teachers that these students were going to be performing higher, that they were gifted, that they were blooming. And so just in doing that, the teachers began to kind of treat the children a little bit differently, and knowing that they were gifted, or thinking and believing that they were gifted. And by the end of that school year, they tested all of the children in the school once again. And what they noticed is that those children that were told that they were gifted were actually performing higher than they had been. And there was a significant jump in their academic achievement that year. So in simply believing that they were gifted, and simply having someone else that believed in them that they were gifted, it completely shifted them into a different timeline where they were performing higher. They were appearing gifted, or blooming as they called it in the study. So it really got me thinking, based on that picture and the study and all of that, how we really can essentially believe something different and timeline jump simply by believing it within ourselves. We don't have to have someone come and tell our teacher, or even do anything. It's almost like magic. We just simply need to believe it for ourselves. So it's all in the belief, and in that belief you literally timeline jump. So one of the things that I have kind of shared with y'all is that I noticed very early on in my life that there was things that I wanted in my life. And so what I would do is kind of play in that belief that it was really happening. So I can remember even early on when I wanted to be pregnant, have my daughter, I would begin to buy items that had to do with, baby, like baby clothes, baby rattles. I began to create kind of like a hope chest, you could call it, of all of the things that my daughter or baby would have. And it was actually gender neutral, but I would collect all these items, and I would imagine myself, having a child. I would imagine myself doing the things that a mother would do. And come to find out, I really did have a lot of struggles in getting pregnant. I had actual, issues within my body that would prevent me from easily getting pregnant. But because I had already chosen in my own mind and had the belief that I would be a mother, and I had began to play in that timeline, those things began to manifest. And before you know it, I was pregnant. It did take a little bit of time, but I got there. And so that was my first, experience with something like that. And then from there on, I began to do that with many things, with vacations I wanted to take. If there was a vacation I wanted to take that I really wanted to take, or whatever it happened to be, I began to purchase the items, plan the trip, plan everything that I wanted to do, look into the restaurants, look into the flights. slowly start booking, or, whatever, the restaurant, whatever I could book in the moment to activate that timeline. So I began to kind of play in that timeline and believe that it was actually happening for me. And so many other things happen that way, not just those things, many other things, buying a house, the career that I wanted, whatever it was, I would always begin by imagination, by playing in that timeline, by activating it, by being in that space. So I encourage you today that if there's something that you really truly desire in your heart, or if there's something that you would like to experience in this life, that you begin to play in it in your imagination, that you begin to play in it in however you can. So just like a child, when the child wants to play that it's a princess or whatever, they may not have the princess costume, they may not have everything to be the princess. But you'll notice that with children, they'll begin to look around mom's closet and find like a beautiful pink scarf and, wrap that around themselves and pretend that that is the princess, dress. Or they'll begin to look into, mom's hair brooches and put them in their hair and say that that is a tiara. And so what do you have to work with right now where you can play in your timeline that you're wanting to go to? So when your belief changes, when you begin to play in these timelines and you begin to believe that it can actually be true, you activate a timeline jump. And before you know it, you will have jumped into that timeline. And so you'll be there a lot quicker than, let's say, you hadn't believed that, or you believed that there were struggles, or you believed that there was limitations holding you back. So because I never really allowed that for myself, my life really sped up. A lot of things happened very quickly in my life. And so things have really sped up in my life. And you may or may not want to do that, but that is up to you. You have the ability to choose. And I think that the study that they did with the children, that were, supposedly not really gifted, but they were told they were gifted in some way and they became gifted, just shows how powerful belief is. If you believe that you are gifted, which you are, because we all hold all the timelines. So let's say that you feel like a very average person right now. You don't think you have any gifts at all. There is a timeline where you have whatever gifts you want to imagine that you have. So it's just like playing like a child. So become childlike and play. What do you want to pretend? Do you want to pretend that you are gifted? Do you want to pretend that you are living this life or doing these things? Or do you want to do these things? Begin to play in it now and it will activate it. And before you know it, you will have jumped into that timeline very easily. You have to become a vibrational match to the thing that you're wanting to move to. If you're feeling limited, if you're feeling like it's out of reach, or like it's up on a pedestal, whatever it is that you're wanting to do or experience, it's not going to be a match. You're going to be down here and it's going to be up here, like you have to earn it in some way. But the truth is, everything is everywhere you are. It's not anywhere different. So all you have to do is tune into it. And an easy way to do that is to play, to imagine, just like a child does. So I hope that this message helped you to activate timeline jumping, and that you will go play in a timeline that most suits you right now, that, makes you feel playful, that makes you feel alive, that you will go play in that so that you can experience that reality here and now. I hope that this message found you well. If it resonated with you, if you got something from it, give me a like down below. Share this video with others. If you are new here and this message resonated with you, or you would like to see more messages like this, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to connect further with me, if you would like coaching, one-on-one coaching, you can go check out my description and my channel page for all the links to how to do that. So to all my returning viewers, thank you so much for being here. I love you all, and I will catch you on our next message.